Welcome to the Everything Actioncast, the official podcast of everythingaction.com.
Hello and welcome to the Everything Actioncast podcast for the week of April 15th, 2024. I'm your host, Zach.
I'm your co-host, Chris.
And yeah, this week we are hunting Ice-T through the woods and talking about 1994's Surviving the Game, which actually celebrated its 30th anniversary this week. It came out April 15th, 1994. One of the many movies that takes inspiration from The Most Dangerous Game, the classic 1924 short story by Richard Connell. That I believe it's in the public domain. I think like 2 years ago it came in the public domain, so like literally anyone can make a Most Dangerous Game now without paying
Call it
anybody.
the most it doesn't have to play a pun on the name or something.
Mm-hmm. But I mean that's got to be. I think A Christmas Carol is like the most adapted like literature of all time. But like I think Most Dangerous Game has to be like up there in like top 5 or top 3 as far as like number of adaptations or it's like things that inspired.
Yeah, this is blatantly just the Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
You know, inspired by would be if like it was a tickle fight movie or something dumb like that.
Yeah, it seems like every couple of years there's always like there's like some new Most Dangerous Game style thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually weird. I think I don't know if it affected the box office because like Surviving the Game was a kind of a box office bomb when it came out. It opened like 6th place when it came out in 1994.
It was too ahead of its time.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if like it was affected by like the fact that Hard Target, the like drastically superior like kind of Most Dangerous Game style movie, came out like a year before this.
Yeah, I think that it was like the fatigue. It's kind of like that's why we don't have like Sherlock movies back to back.
And Cliffhanger came out too, which I think Surviving the Game is a lot similar as Cliffhanger too. Just like kind of like the wilderness kind of like Die Hard style thing. Like,
oh, I didn't know that this was the same time.
it was
I definitely was in. I was in the Cliffhanger camp then.
Yeah, Hard Target and Cliffhanger came out in 1993, and then this was 1994, so a year later. So kind of like two movies that like Surviving the Game was kind of like overshadowed by two things that came out
Year
the year
prior.
before. Yeah,
But the problem is that the Most Dangerous Game definitely was taking inspiration from both. We don't. I mean, there are scenes of dangerous like nature walking, but Cliffhanger took it to the extreme of that.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't like I don't know if Surviving the Game is like a cult classic. It's definitely like a deep cut like 90s action movie. And I feel like people like us know about it, and like if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know about it. But like
action fans know about it. But
yeah, I
not everyone off the street. Where it's
yeah.
Like, can you name an Ice-T movie with Gary Busey and Rucker Hauer and F. Murray Abraham? Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Like to kick off the like talking about it, like the cast of this movie is like just nuts. Like
it feels like half these people might have been friends, and that's why they came together to make this movie.
mm-hmm.
Because it's a very intimate casting. There's barely like all the extras and stuff like that. Like they only come in like one scene, so they filmed all that probably in a day, and the rest of it is just is like 8 guys in the woods.
Yeah. Ice-T, Rucker Hauer, Charles S. Dutton, John C. McGinley, Gary Busey, F. Murray Abraham, and then William McNamara.
Yeah, and that's you follow them for 90% of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I really like the casting in this. This is something that I think that if you ever watch the trailer, it makes it seem more cool and like almost like a music video kind of
Mm-hmm.
like style. But the movie really shows that that these guys are all like, you know, sinister and something's not right. Like it ramps up maybe that first meeting. It goes kind of quietly because it's like, oh, hey, you know, whatever. But then when they're like the big reveal, which we all know,
It takes a while to build up to like when the actual like hunt starts. Like there's a lot a lot more build than you think what there would be for. You think they would like get right to like Ice-T is like being hunted by like these like rich guys, but
it doesn't get into hard target territory, and that's it's like it's on that spectrum of it where hard target is like you pretty much understand what's going on. You're waiting for Van Damme to figure it out.
Hmm.
Ice-T, you learn a lot about LA living in
Well,
the
I think it's
first
like,
20 minutes.
I think it's like Seattle.
See, I don't know where exactly, but it.
Yeah, I think it's Seattle because like they start when they go back to, like that's like where the final confrontation takes place in Seattle, and then it starts out in Seattle.
Okay, because I actually thought that was another city that somehow Ice-T just walked to. We'll get
Yeah,
into that part at the end.
and then
But
they fly to like Oregon or something. I think, or like the Oregon border or something, where they have
I don't, I'm bad with geography and
their
knowing my
murder
mountain ranges.
where they have their murder cabin.
Not only a murder cabin, but like an like a experiment hut.
Well, it's basically like I wonder if like Robert Kirkman saw like this and was like, oh man, the governor, they should have like a room full of heads, like because it's so like their like trophy room when they have like the heads of everyone they've hunted so far. It's just like straight like they tell you this straight up just like the Walking Dead like took that for like the governor. But yeah, there's a ton of time like you spend a ton of time pre-hunt with like Ice T just like wandering around Seattle and trying to survive as like a homeless man and having like literally the worst day, even like even more terrible by like homeless standards, where it's just like his like dog dies, his best friend dies, like
Yeah,
within like 24 hours.
this movie could have just been how shitty it is to be homeless in the 90s,
Yeah,
and then it becomes like the movie also could have just taken place in that city.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely a ton of like Most Dangerous Game adaptations and like inspired by movies that like take place in the city. Like actually the Quibi one, one of the most recent ones, the Quibi Most Dangerous Game was like it's urban, where like Liam Hemsworth was like getting hunted by guys in the city.
Hard Target has that part where they do a hunt in the city of New Orleans, and
Yeah. And no one
their
cares.
thing is
No one cares. The guy's
no one
getting
cares.
shot on Bourbon Street. No one cares.
Yeah, they really get over that hunt really easily. But another thing, this in the first movie, I mean, sorry, in Hard Target, if you want, we can say that Surviving the Game is also a spiritual sequel to Hard Target, where it's just like hunter community people.
Well, it's definitely Rutger Hauer and Charles Dutton definitely have like the same kind of like vibe as Lance Henriksen and Arnold Vosloo, where it's like these two guys are partners and they're like, we're like getting these hunts together.
Yeah, there is an intimacy that is bizarre, but I
like
get it. I
like
think not as erotically charged as in Hard
no,
Target,
yeah,
but
they don't play like Rutger Hauer isn't playing like sensual piano to or Vosloo in like a white room with like white, they're like wearing white or whatever. He does. I think he does feed him like Altoids at one like point. He just like feeds him an Altoid.
wait, that happens in this movie?
It's a yeah. Like at one point, it's like when like Johnson B. Gillian's kidnapped and they're like just like hanging out, and this is like, well, we'll wait. We know where he is, and then like Morgowers like pulls out some Altoids and like feeds one to Charles S. Dutton.
I might have looked down for that moment. That's weird.
And then they were both in like the CIA together, I think, or like
I think they were
they're
both
all
like, in the military.
they yeah I think maybe yeah he was in the military because like at the end he has like all his like he's like our like ranger like outfits, and then he knows how to like kill someone with like like pushing your fingers into like their neck. But then Gary Busey is a CIA psychologist.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because their background is weird, and the fact that Gary Busey is a psychiatrist in this movie is so bizarre.
The one person who needs a psychologist more than anyone is a psychologist.
Yeah. If anything, John C. McGinty would have been the better doctor.
Hmm. Well, he's an oil tycoon from Texas, and then F. Murray Abraham is like a Wall Street guy, and then he dragged his son along to like make his son a man by hunting people.
Because, that converts where it's like, okay, you're good at hunting, you'll be good at business.
Hmm.
Actually, no, not even hunting. It's like you're good at hunting. Yeah, it's bizarre.
And then Charles S. Dutton is like the one who like finds all the targets, and then he sees Ice T, kind of like standing up, like he like is stands up to like this guard, which that's such an insane scene where like Ice T breaks into like a meat warehouse to like get
I think it's a
himself
meat slaughterhouse.
like some sort of slaughterhouse. And like it just grabs like a half a cow.
Slab of
It's
meat.
like and then like he and his like homeless friend like Hank are gonna eat that or share that with like the homeless community. But then like this guard shows up and like this guard's just like just insane. Just like I'm gonna kill someone tonight, motherfucker. Like,
So that guy, the security guard played by
yeah.
Bob Miner, is actually
Mhm.
the stunt choreographer of this movie.
Mhm.
So I think he also might have done Ice-T, a few of Ice-T's stunts, but
Maybe, yeah.
yeah, I mean it's that dude is like just comes out of nowhere. He's not even like a sadistic cop. He's just a security guard that
Yeah.
has fought the homeless way too many times in that community.
But then yeah, and then Ice-T pulls that gun, like, or like he finds the gun that Ice-T finds in the garbage. Like he finds like a like was it like a toker rev? They say it's like and then he's like, I can get $20 for this.
I think it's just a Beretta.
Yeah,
I think they can't use the name Beretta.
and then you have to make sure you pay attention to where his friend Hank says, make sure you clear the barrel when you find a gun because it'll explode on you because that pays off like oh, like very end of the movie. It's just like that's like you have to remember something that happened like in the first like 10 minutes and for like the last like 10 minutes of the movie. Which I mean, great setup and payoff, but it's so long between the seven payoff.
I kind of was waiting. It's the Chekhov's gun, literally.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I appreciate that they set up and then like pay off like a lot is like Ice-T smokes a lot, and then that kind of like affects his like ability to like run away.
Yeah, I feel like this is an anti-smoking movie because
Mhm.
it's not like, oh, it's being cool. It's like, hey, this Ice-T hasn't smoking and then his health isn't the greatest, but he can at least do some cardio. They do like a fitness test on him.
Yep, he runs on the treadmill for 30 minutes.
Like, what would happen if he failed that? Like, then it's just like the movie's over.
He just goes back. Yeah, he just goes back on the street, and then they find someone else to hunt. But yeah, he was like so many great like Ice-T lines. Like but I forget the one. Like he's like, you pay like he's like you pay me enough money, I'll run to like I'll run a marathon or something. Like
I think he said, "I'll run to hell and back."
yeah,
It makes sense for him to be this desperate, and it takes a while for the movie to explain what put Ice-T in this state.
hmm Well, I know what I had this like weird like Mandela effect where I thought like they revealed that like Ice-T was like some sort of like soldier or something.
I did too. I feel like that's another movie.
Yeah, but it's not. He's just like he was like the super of a building, and then but it was like this like horrific like should have been condemned like apartment building, and then burned down. His family died in the fire.
I thought he was also a mechanic, or am I wrong about that?
Well, it's weird because like he says like when he's given like his monologue to John C. McGinley later on when he is like captured, and then he says he agreed to be like the manager of this building because it let him stay there for free with his family. But he says he left for the day to like for another job, like he had a different job. But yeah,
I
there's a
mean,
lot.
he might have been working multiple jobs.
I would assume, yeah. But they came back and like the building was on fire. But there's so much stuff where it's just like, where did he like? Do you learn this on the street? Like he he rigs up these traps and he rigs up like that motorcycle to blow up at one point, and then like he's like he's like leaving traps like the cigarette trap and stuff. So he's got these like tactical maneuvers, but it's just like, where did he learn these like like how do you learn these like guerrilla tactics?
My money is that living in the streets of Seattle is more dangerous than you think.
Yeah. Well, I guess his friend Hank was like a World War II soldier, or like he fought in like World War II or something, or like Vietnam. So like maybe he just like learned that from him. Like he was like just telling like just like rambling about a bunch of like survival stuff or like military stuff. But yeah, I totally remember like Ice-T be like they were one of the reels like, oh man, he's like a like he's like a Army Ranger or something, or like he was like a special forces, but he's homeless now.
That makes more sense in the terms
That's
of how the structure would be.
that's Hard Target's backstory is that Van Damme was like a special forces guy, and then like
Well,
it's
he
like
was like a
merchant,
legionnaire or something.
yeah, the merchant marine or merchant sailor, and then like but also is homeless. but he ends up passing like Rucker Hauer's like fitness test, and then he spends a night in like so Rucker Hauer pays $20, which like that was also shocking. Where apparently like yeah $20 goes way longer in like 1994 Seattle than now because he buys um like a bottle of booze, like some sort of like sandwich or something, and then something else, and then is also able to like rent like a room at this hotel. I mean,
Well,
it's like
he
it's
probably he rents probably an like a hooker hotel
oh,
so they're
it's a
by the
flea
hour.
bag. It's a flea bag shitty hotel, but like yeah,
Yeah, essentially that's what a hooker hotel is, Zach.
yeah,
Uh, and then I don't know, like it doesn't have any amenities besides water, which is great for a homeless guy. Uh, but it's like he's better off like going to, I guess, like a I don't know if Seattle. I mean, this Seattle has a large homeless population, but it's like he's just not good with his money because it's like, oh, I know he wants to stay at a hotel, but he could have
mhm,
stayed at a homeless shelter or something.
yeah,
Like that's another comment about like uh you know the that community where it's like they don't trust anything. I get it. I mean, this movie could have been totally different if Ice T wasn't like this honorable homeless man with like suicidal tendencies. But uh yeah, the it's supposed to show that I guess like Ice T is just like, oh, finally, like he might like follow this money. He's so desperate for this money now.
yeah, and then it might like this might help him get like you know if he his job pays enough, he can get back on his feet and like you know return to society.
But I feel like he's a smart, educated man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what made him a good candidate. He wasn't just like a raving lunatic, and then it's like, yeah, taunt this guy.
hmm
And I don't know. It definitely is a contrast because now, I keep thinking about Hard Target. Hard Target, like technically, Van Damme was homeless,
yes.
but he kept like a greasy mullet and then a duster, and then just was also looking for
I th-
dock work.
I think he might have been homeless at some point. Um, I can't remember if he was like actually still homeless because the big thing was like he couldn't pay for like to renew his like merchant license. That's why he took the job for to find your daddy. like um, but yeah, at one point he's like, oh, when they find like the dad like Yancey Butler's like dad's cart with like the like porn or like the like strip club flyers, and he's like, oh yeah, we've all had to hand those out at some point. It's fine. We just have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, that's another thing. They don't really utilize the homeless part in this movie. See, that's another thing. See, it
They
wasn't
should
like
they could like a little bit. They could have had a little bit more setup of like him like doing some stuff on the streets that like paid off like later on, where he's like, oh he like hotwires a car, or like he figures out like he like, it shows him like doing stuff that like and then, like that's how like, it like pays off to like his tactics later on in the woods.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like it didn't show that like he is not just like a regular homeless man. Like it should be, I think, more improved that this man is somehow like trained or he uses his homeless tactics. Like, I mean, if anything, it just learns that he's good at burying himself in things.
hmm
He does that a lot in this movie.
I always think too like for these like most dangerous game movies where it's like you know we see there's like dozens of people that like they hunted before, and like none of them thought to do anything that Ice T does or like put up any sort of fight. They just ran straight ahead and the woods got killed. that's,
Uh,
that's like it's always the thing that comes up like I think about when like these most dangerous game movies is like so no like I mean we're you know obviously we're seeing like the one that like fights back and like takes out the hunters always, but it's just like no one had any like got even close to like taking these guys out or like escaping or doing anything. It's just like this ran like we see like the one guy at the beginning of the movie that like, he just runs he's just like, running straight through the woods getting like shot with a bow and arrow, and then Ice T shows up and is like doing all this stuff. It's like, oh man, no one's ever done that before. No one's ever run back to the cabin before.
no one's ever thought to go back to where it started.
Yeah.
And it's not like there was a clue or something. He just does that, which is great. Like it's a smart tactic.
Yeah, because he thinks he can get like weapons or something, and then he finds like the headroom, and then he decides to set it on fire.
I don't know what he set on fire with. Like I think it was like bleach or something. Like he
There was
just had
there
a
was
mystery tube.
there was like random chemicals outside the cabin. I mean, it seemed like it was gas, but then it was like it wasn't in like normal like gas canisters. And then, I think according to Wikipedia, I think like the formaldehyde or whatever they're like using to like keep the heads going explodes because that's like very highly flammable chemicals. So that's like kind of what helps set off the explosion.
That makes sense.
That shockingly kills Gary Busey first. Like you think Gary Busey would be around for like a while, but he's the first one to go.
Well, it injures him, doesn't kill him.
No, he's dead. Like he doesn't come back. He's dead.
No, they have a fight.
Yeah. Oh, I'm saying like the end of the fight is like he gets
Oh.
exploded. Yeah.
I thought you meant like the explosion kills him. Like I thought that too, but then he comes out teeth first in that shot.
Well, it's on fire, and then they had the fight, and then Ice-T throws him back into the fire, like, and then explodes, and that kills him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on fire for a while, and then there's a full-on explosion. Which actually, before we get too far into the hunt stuff, we definitely need to go back to like I think probably the most memorable part of this movie. If anyone knows anything about this movie, it's like Gary Busey's monologue.
Okay. Yeah, that comes out of nowhere, and it really just makes Gary Busey sound way more sinister and messed up than before. Like he is definitely the best part about that.
Yeah, like if there's any sort of like hint that something weird was going on, it's it's when Gary Busey starts talking about the time that his father forced him to kill his beloved bulldog in like Mortal Kombat.
I'm trying to think like uh the dad was telling Gary Busey to always throw like firecrackers and stuff to annoy the dog.
To train to be like a guard, like an attack guard dog, to like protect your house. Right.
And then it was like, hey, time to kill your dog.
Yes, become a man. Yeah,
that's the Gary Busey way.
Mm-hmm. Which apparently Gary Busey just like wrote that like entire thing himself.
Wow. I feel that's unlikely. I feel like him and a team of other writers and stuff came together.
I feel
credit for it.
I feel it's just like that's just something that happened to Gary Busey. Like
I feel like that's actually like it comes from such a
real story that happened to Gary Busey when he was a kid. Like I had to kill my bulldog. My dad made me kill my beloved bulldog.
And that's why I'm all messed up. Like if Gary Busey told that story without any context, like I just think it's just Gary Busey's story. But if not, it's like little tidbits of fucked up like fatherhood, and then just like someone who really didn't like a dog.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that definitely should be like a big like red flag to Ice-T of like, oh, this guy is like unhinged.
Really? I thought it might have been making the pig face Ice-T a while.
That's also Gary Busey. Gary Busey just like, look into his eye. Yeah, look at his little beady eyes when you eat him. It makes the food better.
That, and then also John McGinley, like when he's introduced, he just off the bat is just dead staring at Ice-T, and
well, it's because you find out later on like his daughter got killed by a homeless man, and
right, but I'm saying like in the beginning when he's introduced, I think he just can't stop staring at Ice-T, and I know it's like he's thinking, but Ice-T doesn't pick up on that.
I guess he's just enjoying like the wine and the pork. I guess like the best meal he's had in like a while.
That's true.
And then he gets woken up with Charles Dutton just goes from like I'm helping the homeless at this like shelter to like I have a gun in your face and I'm screaming at you to like get out of bed. Like when it's time to flip the switch, like he flips the switch. Like
yeah, it's not like, oh hey, it's gonna be subtle. It starts like a terrible frat party or something.
Yes, it's 100% like a hazing. Yeah, they're all in the hallway just like yelling at him and like spitting on him and like throwing stuff. And it's like, yeah, go. And
there's really no fanfare for that. It just happens.
Yep. And a really weird like time frame too, where like you have a head start for as long as it takes us to eat breakfast.
Which is, I don't know, a half hour it
Yeah,
seems.
not don't. It's not like it's not like an hour or like you have like 10 minutes. It's like yeah, we'll eat breakfast and then however long it takes, then that's how long you have to like escape from us. And then they all have their four wheelers and motorcycles and
I mean, they catch up with Ice-T pretty quick.
yeah.
Did Ice-T just run in like the one paved path? I feel like in all the direction of the woods, he could have went anyway, but he found him really quick. I
Well, I
thought
think
maybe it'd be unfair that maybe they put a tracker on him or something.
I think maybe it was like the smoking too. Like he couldn't run as far as maybe someone else could have.
Oh, okay, I could see that. Maybe that's why they're like, yeah, he's totally healthy for a smoker.
Mm-hmm. But then like we said, like he goes back to the cabin. He lights the cabin on fire. He has a fight with Gary Busey. Blows up Gary Busey, and then gets him again. And then it's like, um, yeah, just
Oh
like
wait. Before that, isn't there like a weird speech that they give at the dinner where it's like tonight or tomorrow's where like the true animals come out? It was some like weird toast that like.
yeah, I think Rucker Hauer or someone has like some sort of some sort of speech. They all there's a lot. Everyone's like monologuing in this movie. They all have like these like like big monologues.
Yeah. Charles S. Dutton has one about like giving lectures to Ice-T about changing his life and
Mm-hmm.
getting a job. Rutger Hauer has the speech, and then Busey has the dog one. I think F. Murray Abraham has one too.
Sort of, yeah. Like when he's like berating his son, and then yeah, John C. McGinley has one like about his daughter, like the homeless person followed her, and then it could have been you, for all I know. And he's just like John C. McGinley is just like freaking the fuck out in the woods, like the entire like he's just like is like shooting at nothing, like he's just like just getting hysterical, like.
Here's another thing. He's done this before, right? Like it's not his first time.
I'm not sure because like you don't really see who like in that first hunt. Like I think you only see like Rucker Hauer, I think, and then it's like you don't really see who else is with him. So I don't know. Like, and then Gary Busey, I think Gary Busey is like the guy who like started the whole thing. So I think he's always there.
So Busey was the head, huh?
That's what he's like he's the one that like came up with the idea of like we're gonna hunt humans, and then he was like the psychiatrist for Rucker Hauer and Charles S. Dutton, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like that's some sort of like ethical psychiatrist oath that he totally botched.
Yeah,
It's like I know how to help you. We should hunt together. Humans.
we should murder people.
Radical treatment. But
But
that
yeah,
even makes the Rucker Hauer parts more confusing. Especially like he gets dumber as the movie keeps going.
well,
Like he's very clever.
I think he's just yeah. I think he's like just like super overconfident, like
Okay.
because like he thinks he knows like all the every place you could hide and like everything that like Ice T's gonna do, and Ice T is constantly just like outwitting them or like doing something different.
Again, none of it is like the tactics he learned on the streets.
No, yeah, I don't know where he learned to like like make a wire expose a wire on a motorcycle and like blow up a motorcycle, which is like maybe probably definitely the craziest kill in the entire movie. Where like Charles is done like starts his motorcycle and it explodes and like they cut to him like his legs are blown off.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I mean, the movie doesn't prepare you for how they're gonna die. There's no ironic death.
Yeah,
It just sort of like everything is just sporadic thrown together. It's fine because I feel like it'd be weird if Ice-T had a time to set up like these predator traps.
yeah, like
A whole
like
spike
punchy
pit.
stakes or something. Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't do that. So I mean, I get it. It's just whatever. Uh, but I'm also thinking like in this movie, everyone is oddly okay exploding vehicles. Right? It's just like a common thing. Like vehicles explode, planes
Mm-hmm.
explode,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
ATVs explode, wheels explode. There's way more of that you think in this nature hunt movie.
Well, yeah. Well, I feel like they're jazzed up because like we're in the woods, so it's not we can't like we gotta figure out ways to have like 90s explosions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like the house exploding because of formaldehyde and the like science lab in the back.
hmm
Okay. Then it's like an ATV, a plane. So,
But yeah, the Charles' death is crazy too because like this movie's not it's not that brutal. I mean, people get killed, but there's not a lot of blood. But then that scene is just like, oh wow, okay. Some it felt like someone realized like, oh, we're an R-rated movie. Like have
make
like
use of it.
some sort of gnarly like kill, and then Rucker Hauer does like the weird like mercy kill with like it's like sticks his fingers into his neck.
I guess he was choking him, but
I
why
think
would you just use
cutting off his
two
windpipe or something.
fingers?
Yeah, it was just like time to go to sleep.
Yeah, it was sad. It was like you feel it. Like you feel their friendship is like, oh.
hmm
But he knew, like, I can't explain this. There's no good way.
Yeah, I mean, as usual, like Rucker Hauer is giving like 1,000%, even though it's just like schlocky action movie. Like he's just like 100% committed.
Yeah, that's another thing about this movie. Everyone looks like they're having a fun time filming it.
hmm
It doesn't feel like phoned in. Everyone is either doing kind of crazy stunts or uh, having like scenery chewing dialogue. So I it had a point where it's like check out these actors putting on this like action movie where it's like some of them you never thought would be an action star.
Academy Award winner F. Murray Abraham is like in the woods screaming at Ice-T to fight
Yeah,
him.
shooting in the dark. Rucker Hauer was already like an action star from other things.
Yeah, like what
So this,
when did like Blind Fury come out?
I think like 89.
Yeah.
But Ice T, I think, was just this is not his first movie, but it's his like first. I'm gonna say like lead.
Yeah, he was in well, after this, he would be in Tank Girl and Johnny Mnemonic, but like that's more like side roles.
I always thought you like Johnny Mnemonic came first,
No, yeah, that was after that. That was like 95.
and I mean Tank Girl, you barely know that's him unless you look at the makeup. But
I mean, probably like New Jack City was probably like his first big movie,
okay, yeah, that was
and
like
then
92,
yeah, 91,
91.
and then Trespass, which is an awesome movie. If you haven't seen that movie, check that out. It's like him and Ice Cube are like these like gang leaders. Then it's Bill Paxton and William Sadler are like looking for like this like hidden cache of like gold, but it's like the building is like where Ice T and like Ice Cube like it's like in their territory and they're like trying to like they kill someone and they witness it. So it's like we got to kill these two guys that like saw this.
Huh.
It's a Walter Hill movie too. So
That makes sense then.
if you're looking for an awesome like underrated Ice T movie, along with this Trespass.
So back to I want to talk about John McKinley. Since he's sort of the first victim to fall, like to get captured by Ice-T.
Yeah. Where
Ice-T just like stomps on him.
yeah, he jumps off a tree trunk, just stops him in the head. Which I feel like that would I feel like if you did that the wrong way, you would kill him. Like you would just snap his neck. But
a full grown man's body weight on top of a man's head, yeah,
yeah,
that's not a like thing you can easily walk away from. Like wrestlers don't even try to do that.
yeah.
So yeah, he basically does like a WCW like move like on top of a tree.
Yeah.
Goes crashing down, and it's so powerful that it knocks out John McKinley. And then when that's not enough, like Icy smashes his head into a tree, like again as they're walking. But I also enjoy like there's like a smack talk between Ice-T and then Rutger Hauer. Like he gets on the comms and just starts like, yeah, like come get me. Like,
I
I got the
got
plan.
your man here. I'm gonna kill him if you don't get me a plane, like, or
Yeah.
get me on that plane. And then Rucker Hauer's like, well, we'll find you tomorrow. It's fine.
So I also like that. It's a show that Ice-T is actually the good guy. Like he doesn't want to kill. He'll
Mm-hmm.
kill if he has to, but it's not in his nature. Because he really tries not to kill any of these guys until it's like, all right, I have to.
Yeah. Like when
Uh,
you have a crazy Gary Busey with a knife, like jumping at you
but I
through a
feel like
door.
that's not like his fault.
No.
He was more like self-defense kick, and then you happen to fall right back in the building that's on fire, and then it explodes.
Yeah. But he reveals like the truth to John C. McGinley, and John C. McGinley like I think like is like, oh, okay, you're actually like you're a person, and I understand like what happened to you, and
I
then
feel now.
yes, I understand now, and then but then he goes back to Rucker Hauer. He's like, I'm done, like I'm leaving, and then Rucker Hauer is like, no one leaves, and then he's the one that kills John C. McGinley with a perfectly placed bullet to the forehead.
No, I thought it was
Oh, Charles Dutton does, yeah,
Charles
because like
Dutton. Yeah, it's like I won't shoot you in the back, and then Charles Dutton does a quick draw
yeah,
and almost like a bloodless headshot. Like it's
oh,
just like a dot shows up on John C. McGinley's head, and that's it.
yeah. And then and then they're back on the hunt, and then there's the whole thing where they 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 think Ice T is like going through the river, but then he is like just hiding in a log the entire time, and then like that's when he's able to like rig their motorcycle to explode. And,
See, I would have loved to seen that kind of. Well, okay, you do get that in the beginning of the movie where he is. Ice-T is good at concealing himself. It's
Mhm.
something he does in the beginning of the credits.
Yeah,
Where like someone's throwing food out in a dumpster, and then Ice-T just sort of uncamouflages himself from the urban setting.
Mhm.
So at least that kind of makes sense where he's good at camouflage for just a super. Like like it's not like he's a Green Beret. He's not like someone who's good at camouflage and knows how light bends. He's just all right. I'm gonna get lucky and hide here, and
well,
it never fails him.
yeah. Well, later on, he like I guess he finds like there's like someone had like camo paint in like their bag or something, like maybe like Johnson McGinley had or something, because he puts on like he and Rucker Hauer put on like like actual like camo like military paint on. But it's like where did Ice T learn to like perfectly put on army camo paint on his face? And then he just has it for like the whole for the, like
I
the
think
final
it
scene and
was
like that in
I
the movie
think it
too.
was McGinley's because he's wearing camel paint.
Yeah, because he steals John C. McGinley's shotgun, I guess assuming like he steals like his pack too, or like some of his supplies. And then I see he uses the shotgun to saw down a tree,
Which I get it. I mean, you have to do what you have to do, but who knew that 3 bullets can bring down like a tree?
and he uses all the ammo because like at one point he's just like, "Oh, I got 3 shots left," and he uses all the last 3 to shoot through the the trunk, and then makes a bridge across this chasm, and then all the rest of the guys that are left like are trying getting across the two, and then we actually it's weird because like we talking about cliffhanger came out the year before this, like we actually get like a mini cliffhanger scene in this movie,
And it's with
like
the villains, not the hero.
yeah, and like F. Murray Abraham's son is like falls off is like falling off the trunk and is like dangling there, and they're trying to get to him, but then he falls into like the riverbed down below. Then that's what
But
so
we don't see him land. We just assume he fell.
it was. I mean, yeah, it's pretty high, and I think it looks like it was like I think you get a little glimpse of it. It's like a kind of rocky, kind of like riverbed.
Jagged.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, judging from like F. Murray Abrams' like reaction, like I think he must have like I think he saw some brain splatter on the on the ground or something. So
But that the movie starts getting shy about that violence now, which is weird.
that's what
Like,
I'm
it's
saying.
very
Yeah,
selective.
that's what I'm saying. The only like really like crazy gore is like Charles S. Dutton's legs getting blown off. But yeah, it's Rucker Hauer and F. Murray Abrams left are the 2 guys left, and then Rucker Hauer is like goes in like full on like kind of like sniper mode where he's just like he camo paints himself, like puts himself in like this like makes himself like a mossy kind of like hideout, and then it's like just waiting there, and then Every is like is just freaking out, is like just like yelling at like into the night, like for Icy to fight him, and then he does, and then Icy shows up, and they have like their crazy fight in the like Ice T versus Emery Abraham, the fight no one had
No
anticipated.
one, and then it's like my money's on Ice T, but after Abraham puts on a good fight.
Yeah, and then but the crazy thing is like Rucker Howard like just like he's like while they're fighting, it's just uh so Ice T kills Emery Abraham, and then like Rucker Howard is like runs back to his plane and this whole gambit where like he like makes the plane like he like sets the plane like going with no pilot to like trick Ice T, which I guess you could like set a plane to like move without you could like to the accelerator or something, just like have it go down the runway or something.
Ugh.
But yeah, it's a super elaborate like trap to like try to kill Ice T.
And it's also a big sacrifice to blow up a plane.
Well, apparently they had two, so I guess that's this thing. Like I have it on my other plane. I'll like use I use the first plane to try to kill Ice T. And I'll fly away in the other plane. Which yeah, Rucker Howard shoots the plane, blows it up. He thinks Ice T is dead. He escapes in the airplane, and then we get to like the final scene, which is like absolutely insane. Where it's like 3 days later in Seattle, and Rucker Hauer is trying to flee, um, to like I guess avoid like all the like legal ramifications of like getting all these like super rich men killed and then like hunting
Well, I
humans.
mean, all the evidence is burned of his involvement.
Yeah.
Besides telling people's wives that he was taking
Mhm.
them out, I guess.
Yeah, there's like a message from like F. Murray Abraham's wife of like, "Hey, where's my husband and my son?" Like,
Call me back.
yeah. But then Rucker Hauer is going to like he's going to disguise himself as like a Russian Orthodox priest or something. Like he's got like a priest outfit on, and he's like dyeing his beard black, and he's trying to, like that's how he's gonna escape the country.
I don't know if he was trying to escape the country or just get out of Seattle, but I
Just guy
feel like you
Seattle,
don't
yeah.
need a elaborate disguise to look like you're just getting out of Seattle.
And then why did he have all? It's like why do you have all of his like military outfits out if he wasn't gonna like use one of those? So, like he's like he gets
If you're trying to flee, he left a lot of evidence behind.
yeah. He's got like at least three like military outfits, and then he decides to, like I'm gonna be a priest.
I don't know. Maybe he went through a lot of like clothing. He had his own montage of outfits, and it's like this is the one that sticks.
Yeah. Then he runs to, like a homeless woman, and he's like, uh, he's like, bless you. It's okay, bless you, my like my child. And he's like, do you have any money? He's like, fuck off. Like,
So, is that homeless woman part of Ice T's plan? Did Ice T have a decoy? Like he
go.
reconnected with this homeless community, and then said, I need to murder this. Like I need to get revenge against this like dude."
Hmm. Yeah, go. If you see like a priest, like go run into him and ask him for money. I'll know it's Rucker Hauer. I'll know it's Burns.
Well, okay. Icy didn't know that was going to be a priest.
No,
Icy
he
all he
did it.
knew
Yeah.
was sabotage the car.
Hmm.
At least that's implied that he sabotaged it. And then, yeah, Rucker Hauer is just he's suspicious of what's going on and pulls out like a pumped up
He
like machine gun.
he's carrying a briefcase, but the only thing in the briefcase is a gun, like a machine gun. Like no clothes, no money. It's just like I got a case with a gun in it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm getting out of Seattle.
So that's why I'm like, why the elaborate clothes if literally you're carrying is just a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last battle is fine. Like you finally get to see them square off since they never did,
Hmm.
and it's pretty even. It's not like Ice T is Ice T is injured. He's been shot like twice.
Oh man, yeah. Ice T takes some definitely some damage. Like he gets shot in like the like side, like lower kind of abdomen.
Older and he
Like
gets shot in the leg, I think.
I don't know if I can't remember if he shot in the leg or like he like kind of hurt his leg in like a fall because he falls down the mountain at one point and then um yeah gets blown like sort like blown up by the plane. Um yeah, and he gets shot. So yeah, he's it's only 3 days after the hunt, so like yeah, that stuff hasn't healed completely yet or like at all. But yeah, still managed to hold his own against Rucker Howard. Then managed to like kind of like get the upper hand, and then like he gets the gun like the like P90 or whatever that gun like the machine gun is like the crazy like skinny barrel machine gun that Rucker Howard uses, and then but then he doesn't shoot him. He's just like the game's over, and then leaves. And
He
then
doesn't even say anything that's like I've survived the game or like game over. He doesn't. He doesn't say that.
well, no, he says like like this, like something like it's like this is the end of the game or like the game's over, and then like and he's like walking off.
But it's not the same. It's not as punny yet. Like I feel like he
Yeah,
could have said that at the end.
yeah, it's not like the when like he kills Gary Busey. Is like Gary Busey's like I like my meat raw, and then like he like and then like, he kicks him in the building. And he's like how do you like how about well done, and then the building explodes.
Yeah, see that's pungent.
Yeah, but then like the final thing is we get like the callback to the thing like what we mentioned like all the way back in like the first like 5 minutes of the movie where they find the gun in the trash can, and then his friend Hank says like make sure you clear the barrel because if you don't clear the barrel it's gonna explode on you. And then Rucker Howard doesn't check the barrel, and Ice T jammed like cigarettes in it or something, or it's like he jammed the barrel full of like junk.
Stuff. It looked
Yeah,
like a rapper.
yes, so a bunch of junk, and then it explodes and kills Rucker Hauer. Although we don't see him
We
explode,
don't
which
see
is
him.
we just hear it, and then like Ice T like walks off.
For all I know, it just probably blew up in his hand, and Rucker Hauer's like, I want revenge. Surviving the game too.
He's got hook hands now. Like, yeah, I want to see like a good like Rucker Hauer exploding into like a fence or something, or like like a Charles S. Dutton style, like him on like lying on the ground, like no, like his hands are blown off now.
I actually thought he was gonna get electrocuted. They really zoom in on that like electrical box that
Yes,
gets kicked open.
he gets like thrown into it. Yeah,
So I thought it would be related to that, but yeah, they don't use that.
and then one shocking thing that we were talking about on Facebook before or today before we started. Chris is like, there's no Ice T like surviving the game like rap credit song like.
It's very non-related to let you know that Ice-T was a singer or a a rapper. It straight up is Ice-T is an action star.
You think this would be like a perfect fodder for like some sort of like like surviving the game like. But no, we just get the which which the other weird thing about this movie is like Stuart Copeland of the Police is the composer of this movie.
That's who that guy is.
Yeah, the drummer for the Police is Stuart Copeland. Yeah, he did the music for this movie, which especially in the beginning, it's like very like it's not what you think. It's very jarring about or like very like discordant of like what's going on in the scene compared to like what the music is because it's like very like jazzy and like. But it's like Ice T's dog just got hit by a car or something. It's like, or
We're
like,
going to talk about the beginning part. That dog just runs into traffic. There's
yeah,
no reason for the dog getting hit. It just sort of happens.
yeah. And then the crazy interaction with like the taxi driver and the like woman like the car back of the car. Apparently, like I guess the taxi driver slammed on the brakes and that woman got like a bloody nose because from it. And then like taxi driver comes out and just wants to fight Ice T. He's like, "Yo, what about my taxi? Who's gonna pay for my taxi?"
I'm a homeless dude. It's like that
Yeah.
happens. Uh, but yeah, the beginning part of the movie is so different from the middle. Again, it doesn't really tie in besides the gun. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like the homeless people team up to help Ice T. It's not like Ice T gets another dog.
No. And then he's hanging out with his friend Hank, and then his friend Hank just dies in his sleep. which no, like there wasn't any sort of indication like Hank, like he was not coughing, like it wasn't, there wasn't, the normal like setup of like, Hank's sick, like
Yeah, Hank. There was no buildup. It's just like next night. That's why I think you said Ice-T's having the worst day,
the worst
worst
like
24
24
hours.
hours, yeah. And then Rucker Howard pays him $20, and he thinks it's gonna turn around. $20 to run on a treadmill.
That's what I'm saying. Like his luck changes in that much. How much was $20? Really did a lot.
And then what were they gonna? They're gonna pay him like $500 a week or a day. I can't
I
remember
think it
what
was a
the
day. It was a one
yeah.
shot deal.
Hmm.
Which I get it. Like that's a lot of money back then. It still is at times, but uh yeah, again, when they picked Ice-T as the candidate, they just wanted a dude who can run. I think that was it.
And I guess Charles Sutton saw that he was, he stands as a taxi, like he's able to, like, he takes on a taxi driver, like he does like a, some sort of move where he like it's like, back off, man, and then like he sees him like do some other stuff later on, so it's like, oh, this guy's got spunk, like
Yeah,
he can like, take care of
he's got
himself.
attitude, but
Yeah.
he wasn't even like advanced fighting techniques or anything. It was just, oh, he's loud,
Hmm.
and that's what made him the perfect candidate. Because if you punch him, he'll get mad.
Because that's like one of Charles S. Dutton's like kind of monologue s things is like when he's talking about like, oh, I can look at a pig and like know like know it's gonna be good, like a delicious tasting pig.
Yeah, and
So he just has like a good sense for like who's gonna be a good like
pig,
target. Yeah.
a good dinner.
Hmm. Maybe there's only heads in that back room. Like maybe they're cannibals too. Who knows?
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
pass Gary
surprised.
Busey. Yeah.
I think Rucker Hauer was in that like TV show horror thing that he was a cannibal.
Oh yeah, the channel, like was it season 3 of Channel Zero? Like like the meat. What was it?
Meat Factory or like House of No Stairs or something like that.
Yeah. Mhm. Butcher's Block. That was.
Butcher's Block.
But yeah. So surviving the game. It's it's fun. Like it's definitely a super deep cut. Like and there's better most dangerous game style.
There's also worse, and this isn't one of them.
Yes. There's definitely some recent ones that have come out. Like I think post like public domain, they're just like, what is this? Like, I mean, the original one, the first adaptation, 1932 version, is actually really good. Which actually it's on the site right now. You can watch that as for Everything Action Theater. Um, but yeah, this is definitely like a solid like mid. If you're ranking all the most dangerous game adaptations or inspired by, this is like probably definitely like a solid mid tier. It's definitely worth watching just for the cast because the cast is insane.
Yeah, it just a team up of actors who you think they would never be in a movie together. But
Yeah.
this is like one of those movies. If you want to out movie trivia someone, you throw this out there.
Hmm.
Or 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
And I think it's I can't. Well, it seems like it should be like streaming in like Tubi or something, but I think it's actually kind of like hard to like, you have to like rent it from like Amazon stuff. It's not really like
Widely available.
widely available, and it's not even like DVD. Like I think it's only on DVD. Like there's not even like a Blu-ray or anything of this movie yet. Which 30th anniversary, let's get like a 4K of this out there or something.
I think a good 4K restoration would be good because it's still kind of grainy even from when you rent it. It's
Oh,
like
but
almost
yeah,
like a VHS rip.
I watched it on Amazon. I rented it from Amazon. It looks like a DVD rip, like on Amazon. It's not even like a good quality like rip of it or anything.
I feel like it could really use some extra restoration, just because there are some interesting camera shots. There are some fun camera work, especially when near the end where Icy has a fight F. Murray Abraham, and somehow Icy becomes like a ninja.
Mhm.
Will like that scene better
Well, it's
shot, high res.
so Ernest Dickerson is the director. Like he directed he's like the cinematographer for basically like all of Spike Lee's movies.
It makes sense. It's a lot of color changes.
And then he directed Demon Knight like after this and Bulletproof. The Adam Sandler, David Wayne's Bulletproof, not the Gary Busey one or like other other things named Bulletproof.
Oh, so there's no butthorn.
No butt horns, no. And then also like a lot of like quite a few music videos too. So yeah, it's definitely got that like '90s music video style.
I called it. That's why I'm like, it's shot very interestingly. It's not. It's not just like is it like I forgot the term is, but it's like camera cut one, guy on the left talk, camera cut two, guy on the right
Mhm.
talk, then wide shot. Like it doesn't follow that formula. I should really learn more cinema terms about that.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't think of the term either right now. It's like 1-2 or like a 1-2 shot or something or
Yep, it's like one, two, three. It's something in that combination. This movie, again, some of it's very interesting camera work, especially in the woods. There's no soundstage work. They just did this movie in the woods. Like they literally
yep.
just
This
filmed on
yep.
location.
Yeah, he's all just went out in like Oregon and just like just like jumped around and threw each other around in the dirt and stuff.
I wonder if there's like a weird super fan in the years from now that's gonna go and try to find the location of this.
This is where the cabin was, where it blew up.
This is with a tree that uh, Ice T did a superstar jump from.
Yeah. Well, I guess the one of the trivia I saw too was like the homeless camp that like they're staying in is now like a Bank of America like parking lot in Seattle.
I'm pretty sure that was just like an empty lot when they filmed it in 1994.
Probably, yeah.
Seattle was still a rough place at times in the 90s.
hmm Before it got like gentrified with like hipsters.
Yeah, before like the like, grunge scene and then Starbucks really started
Yeah,
expanding.
yeah, just all coffee shops and like thrift stores and
Was
record stores.
I think at this time maybe Kramer, not Kramer, Frasier.
Yeah. hmm
Frasier was I think just starting
It,
to air.
it started the same. It started the year before '93,
Oh,
so
that's the
it, it,
gentrification.
yeah, been on for like a year.
But yeah, it's a shame that this movie never got like a wider audience. I feel like it's a great like made for like TV or streaming movie.
hmm
Like if you took the same kind of cast, the equivalent of them now, and you threw in an actor that normally is associated with something else and make him into a star, or make him into an action star specifically, I feel like this formula does work. It just this was too soon, and then we've seen versions where like they just don't understand the point. But
Yeah,
this,
well, I think
I like this point. It's like he just, I mean, IC does not get the money at the end, so who knows what happens at the end for him.
yeah, I definitely got hurt by like Hard Target came out. It's Hard Target's it's such a like just masterpiece of just like awesomeness, and so I'm sure there's like still fresh in people's minds like, oh, we just saw like this weird like rich people hunt guys movie, and it was like way more stylish and better than this because it was John Woo.
Hard to beat that.
But yeah, definitely mid tier, and then I'm sure that there's always gonna be like new most dangerous game adaptations coming.
It's essentially like its own genre.
hmm If you go on the Wikipedia page for like, and you can just look up like adaptations of most dangerous game, like especially like the TV section, there's been so many TV episodes that are just like, oh, this episode's the most dangerous game, like parody or like inspired by. It's like every show has like some sort of like most dangerous game episode at some point. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this week's episode. Come back next week for another. We'll dive into another action gem or some genre gem. And head over to the site. We got all sorts of stuff there. We got, like I mentioned, you can watch the 1932 Most Dangerous Game as part of Everything Action Theater. The whole movie is up on our site. You can check out our all of our features and news, all that stuff. And actually, come back next week on the site. We're going to have our monthly commentary. It's going to be Friday the 13th, Part 4, the Foul Chapter, the quote-unquote Foul Chapter, because that also celebrated anniversary this month. So we'll talk about diving into all things Jason in that commentary next week. And yeah, all your features out there, head over to check all that stuff out. And for Chris, I'm Zach, and we will see you next week. For more Everything Action, head to www.everythingaction.com. You can also follow us on Twitter @EVAction, on Facebook by searching for Everything Action, and follow us on Instagram @everything.action. You can also subscribe and get more episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.